count. We love. All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and infinite glory to our Heavenly Father.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Hakodash.
All right, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us His truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, those making their bodies a living sacrifice in these last days, okay? And this is GMS Dallas with the beloved brother Osmoaf. All right, myself being Malak, and we back out here on a Friday to preach Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, our Lord is coming back. Okay, and as we can see, these devils, these demons, the rulers of this earth, right? The wicked. We can get Job 9:24. Because you see, the earth has been given for this short season. We don't know. Yeah, see, Jake is looking for every other way, but not the way how about Shimi outside, right? They looking, for direction. That's the spirit, man. Yeah. Jake looking for direction, but they don't know. We the ambassadors of the direction. Man. All right, the direction of what this society is going. Well, really, we done got direction from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, and we just, directing our people. All right, shepherding, if you will, and letting them know the way. This is the way walking in it, right? And the way is due to our Lord, man. He's giving us, direction in these last days, correction, if you will, and instruction to go in which way we should, man. And that's in the way of righteousness, man. You got it.
That's Isaiah 59 and verse 8. The way of peace they know not.
The way of peace, right? And we know that Yahushua, okay, in his first carnation was, or not first carnation, but one of his ways that he came was as King Solomon, right? All right, the Prince of Peace. All right, and that's how he embodies that as well, right? The Prince of Peace, right? That's why we start off saying Shalom. All right, this is the way of peace. In a way of a new earth, a new system being set up. But this system, at first, has to be destroyed, you see? All right, go ahead.
God, Isaiah 59 and 8. The way of peace they know not.
Right.
And there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths.
And that's talking about the nation of Israel, man. The way of peace they know not. Okay? They know chaos, man. They've been force-fed, this chaotic energy of Babylon the Great. And that's what they gravitate toward, man. Okay, democracy. This idea of, if we get all the illegals out, then it's gonna be a utopia in America, Or if I just get, my credit score 2 points higher, then I might be at peace.
God.
No, man. It's the way how about Shimi Yahushua. Right. But see, Jake is opposed to that. Jake fights against peace. Their whole nature. You see? Was there more on that?
Yeah.
Come.
Isaiah 59 and 8. The way of peace they know not. And there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace.
Yep. You want to speak on it?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, bro. I'll grab another one for you. Because there's a reason why our people don't know peace. Okay? This is Jeremiah 16 and verse 5. For thus saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, enter not into the house of mourning, neither go to lament nor bemoan them, for I have taken away my peace from this people.
Yeah, hey, the Lord is taking away the peace, by bringing utter chaos, all right? Now you got individuals getting laid off. There's no uncertainty, there is uncertainty in this economy, It's a lot of things going on right now. It's a lot of, war. People are, now women can get drafted in the draft, man.
Right.
So it's taking away the peace. So these women up not at ease.
Now all these hoes talking about they home bodies. Bitch,
yeah.
You wasn't saying that 2 years ago.
Right. Yeah, because it's looking real unpeaceful out here. Shootings happening every day, earthquakes, right? Taking away the peace. A lot of things going on. Can you read that again?
Yeah. Jeremiah 16 and 5. For thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, enter not into the house of mourning, neither go to lament nor bemoan them.
See, because we ain't sad when these niggas when judgment takes place on these niggas, man.
Right.
We not gonna be sad. Oh man, I miss Ray J. Hey, Ray used to be so funny on the job, man. Right. We ain't concerned about these niggas when shit happen, when they get their house door kicked in, get hemmed up by the police. We ain't sad about that, man.
Yeah,
we ain't
George
sad when
Floyd.
judgment comes. Yeah, right, George Floyd. We ain't sad, a cracker putting his foot on your head, man. We ain't sad about that, man. It is what it is, because Jake didn't want to understand peace. They wanted to be more fervent in chaos. They wanted to further the chaotic energy, right? Cleaving unto black culture,
Right.
cleaving unto, Edomite culture, Edomite supremacy, believing in Edomite supremacy by the ideas of Christianity,
Right.
Forwarding that idea, not forwarding the Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man, not coming back unto their heritage. You see? You got it.
Yep. Going back, Jeremiah 16:5. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, enter not into the house of mourning, neither go to lament nor bemoan them. It says, for I have taken away my peace from this people, saith the Lord, even loving kindness and mercies.
Yeah, the Lord has taken away the peace, man. All right, and although they say we can get that peace and safety, because that's going to be promised to them through this AI system that's being set up, man. Peace is being sprinkled, if you will, through the idea of AI governing over the things of this world. All right, causing the people to believe in the system even more. As uncertainty grows stronger, right? People are wanting more peace, and that's gonna come through the form of Esau pushing this AI system, man. Digital passport. All right. Oh, you want a stable coin? All right. That's why you even have those terms being brought up. Stable coin. A cryptocurrency. Things that is hidden, so it can't be corrupted. That's why you having these things, these conversations being brought up, because Esau is using this technocracy as peace, man. You got it.
Yep. 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that are right unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
Right. Yeah, the times and the seasons. We know the time and the season. It's the spirit, man. You got these, right? These cars, right? AI Uber, man. Right now it's a person in it, but they're processing, taking a lot of data in, and a lot of these systems being set up, man, are about to take upon the jobs of the people, man. We can see it being set up right now. We can see that, like again, AI, Uber Eats, right? That's constantly been going back and forth up the camp, Chat GPT. People rely on Chat GPT more than their own rationale, man.
Right.
You have. You was gonna say something?
I was gonna say, nigga forgot to wipe his ass since ChatGPT came mainstream.
They asking, is wiping my ass healthy? Chat GPT, let me ask you. Basic things you've been doing is actually washing our hands healthy. Your average nigga is asking Chat GPT these things, man. Should I breathe today? But hey, that's because this is being pushed and force-fed down to people's mouth. All right, AI is everywhere now. It's incorporated in everything. It's a savior in these people's eyes.
Exactly. That's it. Pseudo salvation.
Yeah, it's a pseudo salvation, man.
Yep.
That's what's being pushed. But we can see it due to the seasons, man. We can see the leaves falling. We can see the things of this earth changing. A lot of things being changed due to the season that we in. You got it.
Yep. Going back, 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Yeah. Then peace and safety, then sudden destruction, man. All right, suddenly. All right, and that's how the Lord is going to strike. Okay, we seeing false flag events take place, happening just like that, taking away your amendments, man. Starting to tap into your amendments. Lately, what I've been watching, is the you got auditors, right? You got people that go around and they'll film out in public, and then you will have people walk up to them and say, they'll be like, oh, I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to be on camera. I can't, but it's a public street. All right, you can be filmed. You can be, that's part of the amendments, man. The first, second, third, and fourth amendment, man.
Freedom of the press.
Yeah, freedom of the press. But see, a lot of people, they don't even understand the ideas that America was established upon. That you have freedom to express yourself. So how willingly will they give up those freedoms? You have the people call the police on freedoms that you have unwittingly. So the average American don't know exactly what they, what America quote unquote, America allows.
Yeah.
So of course, when they take it away, right, it's gonna go under the nose of a lot of these people. You see?
That's beautiful, bro. Yeah. Your amendments are gonna be taken underneath the guise and banner of peace and safety.
Yeah.
Just like the whole, I believe it was that 2001 incident with 9 to the 1 to the 1.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all the plethora of laws and legislation that was signed out of that underneath the guise of your safety. Now you got the Patriot Act, and now basically underneath your nose, now everybody is labeled a domestic thief in the government's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
All because of peace and safety.
Yep.
So what makes you think this devil's gonna, just, that was too good for him to just stop right there. He's gonna, bro, like you going into beautifully, bro. That's what he's going to use this a part of the way he's going to use this AI, this technology, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What's that? Through his craft. I know it's talking about Antiochus.
Daniel 8:25.
Because this devil is crafty, man. The rulers of this society, they do what they call as kicking the can down the road. They call it gradualism. Right? They'll gradually make an escalation toward taking you. You see, right? Because a predator, right? A predator won't just overtly make their move. A predator is going to covertly get inch closer, like a lion attacking. It's going to inch closer. And see you turn around, you think you hear something, it'll stop in its tracks, and then it'll maybe move to the right or to the left, and then start to take the prey.
Yeah.
That's how Esau moves, man. He inches his way forward in the acts of these policies, and then he makes an attack. You see, the Patriotic Act, not so patriotic. And what we seen today, or a few days ago, happened in the news as you have people that come over here and they want to get visas or any kind of work to stay here, or even just citizenship. Now they're subject to a social media check. 5 years of social media history is what they're checking now, right? Is what? That's a taking away of your free speech rights. Slowly, man. Because one thing is, it's going to come to the people that want to come here, but then it's going to come to the people that already are here, and it is already happening.
Got proof for you.
Come on.
Genesis 25 and 27, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
Mm-hmm.
You got it. Go ahead.
Well, this is going into, of course, the birth of, or not the birth, but the acts and the differentiation between the two nations that were set to rule the earth, right? Esau, Edom, and Jacob. Okay. And it said that Esau, Edom was a cunning hunter, right? That word cunning is deceitful, is pretty much a sorcerer, man. Somebody that's a soothsayer, and that's the same attribute that the serpent had in the garden. He uses his media, his tongue, all right, that medium to convince you of a false that's portrayed as a truth, Kind of. You was gonna say something, Dora?
No, that was it.
Kind of.
You said it. Going here to Daniel 8 and 25. You still want that?
Kind of, yep.
Daniel chapter 8 and verse 25, and it reads, "And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand."
Right, and just for context, of course, this is talking about Antiochus Epiphanes, but we can liken this because also he, of course, he's an Edomite. So we can liken this unto the nature of Esau, Edom as a whole. You see, and who controls the media? Who controls, the outlets, if you will? All right? It's a so-called white man. All right? What do you see? Even when these other nations speak, they still come in the form, the idea of an Edomite on TV. What are they wearing? A suit and tie, the symbol of the Caucasian man. The symbol of European Edomite supremacy, man.
That goes back to Egypt.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it shows you in what way that they're speaking. It's the way of the Edomite, man. Translated in English for your ass, which is the language of who? All right, and that's the policies, man. The policy that this man pushes, we see it. Can you read that again?
Yeah. Daniel chapter 8 and 25, it says, and through his policy also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Right, he shall cause craft to prosper, you know? Showing you that he has control over the monetary, the monetary system too, you know? He controls craft to prosper. These people, these companies set up, all right, it's forward in sin. That's the main thing that this man sells, man. Lust, sex, you know, he causes that shit to prosper. But ultimately, he's causing the demise of Israel, the nation of Israel, man, which comes in the form of getting you to submit to this new system being set up, you know?
It says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
See, there it go again. By peace he shall destroy many. All right? Because it's in his hand, man. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right? What is that? Malachi 4:1. The wicked, you know?
1 and 4.
Oh yeah, one. Whatever else you got too.
Okay,
You
God.
got some precept.
Okay, I'm gonna finish it out. Daniel 8 and 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand.
Yeah, he shall stand up against the prince of princes, man. Of course, you know, like again, going back into Antiochus. All right, he fought against the nation of Israel. He pretty much destroyed the temple, man. You know, he attacked the temple. You see, and that's what Esau Edom is trying to do today. All right, he's trying to destroy the nation of Israel. He's trying to, Psalms 2, you know, fight against Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. But the Lord said He's gonna destroy him without hand, man.
Yeah.
That's that stone coming down as you continue to read, or back in Daniel, Daniel the second chapter, you know, that stone being thrown, all right, at the feet, you know. We see it happening, man.
Yeah, and Antiochus, he was destroyed without hand as well. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua inflicted him with that that intestinal disease, to where he was rotten from the inside out, man. To where his companions didn't even want to get anywhere close to his proximity because he was stinking horribly. You know? So yeah, the Lord fucked that nigga up, man.
Yep. Hey, what's that scripture say? Their stink. I think
shall
is that
come
it?
out of their carcasses.
Yeah.
That's
Is that
Ezekiel.
okay. Or is it Joel? It might be. I think it might be
Joel.
Ezekiel. Yeah. I don't know. But it's a scripture. It does say the Lord, man. Their stink shall come out. You know, pretty much after the valley of Jehoshaphat, man.
Yeah.
You know, after we see this major destruction, man, you're gonna see the results of Edomite supremacy.
Isaiah 34 and verse 3.
Oh, okay.
Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountain shall be melted with their blood.
Yeah, the whole mountain, which is the establishment of Esau Edom, man. You know, the mountain. Can we read that from the top?
Yeah,
we can. Yeah, that Isaiah 34 is heat, man. You know, because it goes into the destruction of this, democracy, if you will. This government, this establishment of Esau Edom, you know. And as we talking about this new mountain that's about to be established, which is the mountain of the Lord, okay, it's only right that Yahushua himself do it, you know. And like the brother mentioned, as Antiochus was destroyed from the inside out, the Lord is tearing this place up from the inside out, you know.
It's going to be an implosion before an explosion.
Yep.
Isaiah 34 from the top. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, you people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it.
Yeah, and that's the decree of a aristocrat, if you will, the decree of a leader, of a ruler. All right, come all ye nations. You see, the nations, the people that are having councils are the ones that other nations have to pay tributary to. You know, the Lord is coming from a heightened position to bring in the leaders of this society so that they can listen, and they listening through the ear and through the mouth of the prophets, man. The prophets is speaking, and every nation is hearing this decree, man. Our word is going out. All right, but that word is going to get physical.
Verse 2, Isaiah 34:2, it says, for the indignation of Yahweh by Shemawashah is upon all nations.
The indignation, the righteous anger, man, is upon all nations. See? You got it.
Yep. It says, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter.
Utterly destroyed them. That's like in Mortal Kombat when it's a flawless victory. Right? Ain't even get touched.
Man.
Right? To be utterly destroyed is you didn't have a chance. Not a chance in hell. Right? Completely overkill, man.
Your health bar still on 100. This nigga finish him. You know what I mean? You didn't, like you said, he didn't get touched, man.
Man. And it's like you went 3 rounds, you couldn't even touch him. You know?
That shit frustrating too.
Yeah.
I used to fight my big brother on Tekken.
Oh yeah.
Tekken 1, Tekken 2, Tekken 3, like he was good. It's like, bro, like what you talking about, like you try to fight him on, different levels, like, bro, you can't touch this nigga. Like, damn, that shit is frustrating. Make you throw down the controller.
Yeah.
That's how Esau gonna be, bro. But the Lord gonna put that spirit in him to fight. Like it speaks about in 2 Ezra 13. Because the Lord just wants to smoke, man.
Yep. Yeah, the Lord love to play. Just like a lion loves to play with his prey. They'll kill something just for a statement, man. They'll actually wound like baby hyenas in front of their packs, just so that the mother and the father can hear the cry of the hyena, and just watch them meditate in that to make sure that it's ingrained in their head to not even come back around them.
Yeah. That's psychological warfare.
Right.
Hey, that's what Yahweh Shah is going to do, man. He, like you said, he's going to make a statement. It's going to do something to the minds and the psyches of everybody that's living upon this planet, man. To where it's going to instill that healthy fear of the Lord upon this earth forever, man.
Yeah.
Once Yahweh Shah comes back and he absolutely just wreaks havoc upon this place, man.
Yeah. Hey, cause through generational terror, man. Jake could always bring out the idea of, through after slavery, our people are their DNA is, that trauma, that trauma has been passed down. Well, how traumatic is the fear of the Lord, man? How traumatic was the flood at the time? How traumatic was Sodom and Gomorrah for Lot and Abraham, man? How traumatic was that? Well, we talking about the day that's never been seen on the planet Earth. That's the kind of fear that the Lord is coming back with. You see? And people, people scared of a goddamn waking up and they or swiping their car at Whole Foods, man, and the payment not going through. People's fear level is hella low. They go to a trick-or-treating, get a pop-up scare. Yeah, what about seeing your baby pass? What about seeing having to eat your child? What about having to seeing somebody, a woman get ravished by 15 men, man? Seeing limbs on the street, seeing teeth, a face with teeth, just trying to get something to eat, just dead, Man, we about to see something crazy.
It's Jeremiah 32 and 37. Behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whether I have driven them in my anger, and in my fury, and in great wrath. And I will bring them again unto this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely. And they shall be my people, and I will be their power. And I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and of their children after them. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts, that they shall not depart from me. Just going into the point, like, the Lord's about to make a statement, man. Through this judgment. Like, you was going into how the lions, they like to just, just kill their prey for statements. And what does that do to the surrounding packs, to the surrounding, male lions and cubs and whatnot? That's a psychological warfare that makes a statement. Like, oh shit, this is the king. Like, this is his domain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, Yahweh B'Shemel Shah is gonna put his fear inside of us, man, inside of everybody, really. And that comes along with the new covenant for the Israelites, man. As we're changed, we get those new bodies, man, it's gonna be impossible for us to go off. And we're gonna fear the Lord from the least to the greatest forever, man.
Hey, what's that? Revelation 15. Even though he's singing that new song in the chariots, hey, they was scared, man.
Yeah.
You know, that fear is when we read the fear is the first step to understand Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. That's gonna be the first step of the kingdom being established. Is really cementing, rooting the fear of the Lord in the earth, man.
Got it right here.
Okay.
Revelation 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power of heaven.
God, yep. Hey, the remnant was affrighted, man. Even though they was saved, you know, they was brought up into the chariot, but even still, man, they was scared. You see? Shit crazy, man. You know? Hey, but hey, that's the first step of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua establishing himself, man, and cementing that fear, getting it in check, you know? A healthy fear of your father, man, is needed to take before you take instruction.
That's why the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai, which we believe to be the chariot of the Lord. That's why the Lord came in the fashion that he did, okay, to instill his fear inside of us as he was giving us his instructions. This is Exodus chapter 20 and verse 20. It says, I'll start at verse 19. Really 18 is the point. I'm going down to verse 20. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. When the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not Yahweh Bashim Yahushua speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that you sin not. So that's ultimately why the Lord came down in the fashion he did, man. So his fear can be before us, man, for our good. It's for our good, man. So the Lord's wrath don't kindle up and flare up against us. So that's a beautiful thing, bro. Being part of the new, when we get into the new covenant, the Lord's fear, he said he's gonna already put that fear inside of us, man, to where it's gonna be impossible for us to go off for our good. Because the Lord allowed us to see and live in a cesspool of a world to see what it's like, okay, to live lives when the fear of the Lord doesn't reign supreme. You know? You just have nothing but death, chaos, you know, throughness, confusion, sicknesses, illness, curses.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why the Lord said, I'm gonna put my fear in your hearts for your good, man. So I don't fuck you up.
Yep. Yeah. I had some.
Come on.
This is Revelation chapter 15, verse 3. It says, I'm gonna read verse 1. It says, and I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them was filled up with the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. You see, and that's what it takes, right? The victory over the beast, over his image, right? The beast being this system, all right, this Edomite system, that being, NATO and the EU, okay? But also, it says, and over his image, all right, his, the things that he pushes forth, the democracy, the form that his lifestyle that he pushes, the accepting of all these different ways of lives, all his his indoctrination. It says, and over his mark, all right, and that mark, which is the implantable microchip, man, the RFID technology, you see, which is being pushed for more and more for tracking, tracing, all right, and that man is going to use that technology to track your thoughts, track your actions, okay, just as they did within the Roman Empire, or the beginning of the Roman Empire, right, when they made it not lawful for any man to obey, the decrees of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Any man to profess himself to be named a Jew, profess himself to be named an Israelite, all right, they're taking that away, all right. This campaign against, what did that lady say a few years ago? She said, the biggest threat to our security is the black Israelite, man. You know, which we know that, of course we don't associate ourselves with the term black, because that's a color that has nothing to do with identity, a land, a heritage, a language, you see. But I'm just using that point to further show you that the crosshairs of this society or where it's going to is at the truth. And the Israelites are speaking the truth, all right? Specifically, the GMS, man. Specifically, the men prophesying in GMS. And that's where the society is, these things are being taken. All right, verse 3, it says, and they sang the song of Moses, right? This is an ancient song, okay? The song of victory. And you can read about that in Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter, when it talks about the victory that David had, or the victory that Moses had over his enemies, which we know is King David, man, by destroying and moving the other nations out of the land. You see, it says, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Lord Almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. Who shall not fear thee, O Yahweh, and glorify thy names, right? Who shall not fear thee? Okay, after the acts of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. It's going to be, the root of fear is going to be established upon the earth, man. And you even see it when these people come up and they walk by. They looking at us like it's crazy, all uncomfortable. Because that's the beginning of the fear of the Lord being established upon the planet of the earth.
I have one for you.
It's a little more. It says, verse 4, who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name, right? That name is associated with fear, man. See, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, which a lot of these people, a lot of groups are straying away from, because they don't truly fear the Lord. For thou only art holy, for all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. Right? Thy judgments are shown, man.
Yep. This is Isaiah 19 and 17 in the NLT. Just to speak the name of Israel would terrorize them.
Oh, man.
That's it. Isaiah 19:17 NLT. Just to speak the name of Israel would terrorize them, for the Lord of heaven's armies has laid out his plans against them.
Man, hey, just by laying out the Lord's plans, man. All right, boy.
Yeah, I read it again. Hey. Isaiah 19:17 NLT. Just to speak the name of Israel would terrorize them.
Terrorize who now? What does that mean? Who is it talking about when it says them? All right, those that are in rulership, those that are in, established in this society, man. Those that are established in this world, if you will, the Edomites. This is the end of their world. Okay, the so-called self-proclaimed white man, the white man and woman is going out of style, man. It's been out of style, and they've known it. They've been trying to tan themselves since the first foot Columbus stepped over here. They've been trying to tan themselves. They've been trying to dance like us. They've been trying to do everything like Israel, man, like the nation of Israel. Even so much so where they've decided to lie to themselves and take on our heritage, man, our nationality, man. They tried to craft themselves and rewrite the history so that they could say that they're the salt of the earth. They're the nation of Israel. You see? But now that the true nation of Israel is standing up upon their feet, the nations are fearing, man. You see? So us speaking this message is instilling fear in the earth, which is the beginning of the establishment of the kingdom of heaven, man.
Yeah, just like during the time of ancient Egypt, when the Lord, rose up Moses and Aaron, man, to proclaim it to Pharaoh, let my people go. Man, that was bad news for Egypt. So the same thing in these times, man. As we're in the spiritual Egypt, hence we just read Isaiah 19 going into, Egypt, a message to Egypt, which is going into right here in America. All right, well, hey, a part of us waking up means what? It's going to be plagues and terrorists upon this place, man. For the controversy of Zion, So that's why and make no mistake about it, bro. Jake really think that we just be, blowing smoke up your ass, like when we say, man, the elites know. No, they really do know. Oh yeah. These motherfuckers, they've had the records, man. They got the same records that they had in the Persian Empire. When you read Ezra, the 4th chapter, it speaks about how the heathen nations, how Persia, they had the records of the house of David. They're like, man, they know what type of, like, it said that the house of David was a hotbed of insurrection. how they rebelled against kings, they refused to pay taxes, they slaughtered their enemies. So Esau probably got, brother, at least probably got that same piece of papyrus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
So yeah, they know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, all that information underneath the Vatican.
Yes.
You know, all these museums. You see, and you'll go. See, the thing is, Jake don't do nothing but, you know, play 2K and smoke blunts. Yeah. You'll actually incite, like, get a lot of wisdom just from going to the regular museum.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you'll just get a lot of, it'll be put up on game on, like, a lot of the ancient relics just on going to different museums, right? Or even just going on YouTube, right? Because YouTube is the, you know, the modern day version of, you know, the Library of Alexandria. You can just look at other museums and videos, and they'll show you, you know, dark-skinned images of, you know, the saints, or of, you know, of Yahweh Shah, man. You can see, oh man, you know, the history is deep, or you get into some of these books that's written by, you know, a lot of these authors, and get some knowledge on, you know, the Middle Ages, and you'll see the deepness, the richness of our history, you know. But imagine, that's the things that they show you. Imagine the things that they don't show you under Edomite supremacy, you know. Imagine the things they don't show you. We can only imagine. And we got the record, but you know how much more knowing, you know, the specific bloodlines, you know, the family, you know, your last name. They understanding your last name and knowing where you come from, right? They got a lot of that information, man. But see, all things is being revealed in these last days, man.
Got that right here.
Come.
Luke 12:2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be made known.
Yep. Hey, can you get Isaiah 25 too?
Yep.
You know, because the Lord is making these things known, man. The Lord's put us back in remembrance, and us being put back in remembrance reminds these nations who they were or who they are, and reminds them of the things that our Lord has done, man. The things that the Lord has done to these other nations to give us sovereignty. All right, and in the way that it happened, man. You know, a hand of strength was taken. You see, it was no peace. It was no peacefulness of a you know, an uprooting of the empire, man. See? Okay.
Yep. This is Isaiah 25 and verse 7. And he will destroy in this mountain.
Oh, hey, destroy, man.
Yep.
Hey, the Lord. Hey, if you destroy something, that's not like a peaceful movement. You know, to destroy something. You seeing a building get you know, demolition taken upon it, man. That's not like you got to clear out the paths. It's annoying. There's a whole bunch of space that got to be taken away. You know, it's a lot of things that happen when, you know, you knock a building down, when you destroy it, man. All right, so much. How much more a mountain, man? To destroy a mountain, you know, that's not a comfortable place to the thing to see, man. You know, it's loud. It's like kind of irritating to the body. You might feel the earth shake. You know, it's an uneasiness that comes with that.
Yeah.
And that's what these elites are feeling, man.
Yeah. God. Isaiah 25:7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the face of the covering cast of all people, and the veil over all the nations, man. You know, the covering cast, Esau, Edom has used that to destroy our people, man. All right, putting the veil upon them, upon their minds, you know, upon who they are, hiding certain things. You see, this man has pushed that forth, man, and covered up certain things, you know, certain information, so that he isn't revealed, man. Because and we see that happening too. The beginning of prophecy, we know who the Edomites are. We know who every nation who they go back to biblically, man. Who the so-called Arabs are, who the so-called Indians are. You know who the Asians are, man. The East Asians, the East Indian. You know, we know who those people are, and we know who the nation of Israel is too, and who the Lord is dealing with, man. We can see it, man, because that covering cast is being wiped off.
Verse 8, he will swallow up in death victory, and the Lord Yahweh Shah will wipe away tears from off all faces of the Israelites, and the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth, for the Lord Yahweh Shah has spoken it.
Yeah, and that's that new covenant that's going to be established. See, Bobby, can you read that again?
Yep, Isaiah 25:8. He will swallow up death and victory.
Yeah, swallow up death and victory, which, that's something that happened, and that's something that's going to happen too. It's going to spring forth more. All right, Yahushua already defeated death, man. He already got the victory. But see, he's going to pass that accomplishment to his brothers so that we can overcome death. And that's going to come in the first form of us overcoming this beast, this system, as we just read in Revelation, the 15th chapter, but also being beamed up into those chariots and overcoming death by attaching ourselves to that new body, man. By putting on, that new body. Changing our inward parts, putting the fear of the Lord and the laws in our inward parts, man. That being written, man. We gonna overcome death and obtain the victory through that. You see? Can I keep going?
Yep. It says he will swallow up death and victory, and the Lord power will wipe away tears from off all faces, and the rebuke of his people shall he take away.
That's the removal of these curses, man. The removal of these curses, the tears being wiped away from our eyes, our joy, our sorrow turning to laughter, man. Yeah, and it's gonna happen. Yeah, yeah. See, a man of law, got to agree. Because it's order that comes with laws. It's order that comes with a certain establishment, certain governments. Likewise, See. It's order that comes with this establishment. That's what we yearn for, man. That's what our body yearns for, ultimately. Peace, comfort. And that's what these scriptures give us a taste of, comfort. You see, the spirit, man. Something to overcome these trials and tribulations that we're going through. The Lord has given these promises because it said that he... Baba Shah, can you read that one more time? Because it said that he will do these things in that verse.
You got to believe it too, man. Isaiah 25:9, and it shall be said in that day, lo, this is our power. We have waited for him. Oh, Salakia, verse 8. Isaiah 25:8. He will swallow up in death and victory, and the Lord will wipe away tears from off all faces, and the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth.
Yep. Yeah, he will do these things. He will. All right. Hey, that's why the name is so important, man. Yahushua. He is salvation. All right? Yahweh, he is. You see? That's so. Hey, these things will happen, man. It's not no ifs, ands, or buts. It's a time and a season when it's gonna happen. Oh, can we get a Habakkuk 2? And whatever you're gonna get. These things must happen, man. And we wait and we watching, man. We watching fervently. We seeing these things happen in the news. And we watching them play out in the earth. We seeing how these precepts, how they align with us in our walk, and how we can learn from them and actually apply them, and we can change and be, and so that we can be saved, man.
Yeah, that's the spirit that the apostles were. They were in 2,000 years ago. That's why you read Acts 1 and around 6. They said, Lord, are you now about to restore the kingdom to Israel again? When you read it, I like the way the NLT has it worded, but it says they kept asking him, kept. Because really what they were doing, they were trying to force Yahushua's hand. Because remember, it was that Luke 12:49, Yahushua says, for I came to send fire upon the earth and I wish it was already burning, but I have a terrible baptism to be baptized of. So Yahushua wanted to fuck up Rome back then and establish a kingdom, but he couldn't. He couldn't, man. But his disciples, they were trying to force his hand, like, Lord. That's why I said they kept at, like, Lord, you gonna do it now? You gonna do it now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they were in the right spirit, But that's why he says, listen, bro, it ain't the time and seasons for y'all to know these things, man. This ain't, There's got to be a great falling away. Got to be a transatlantic slave trade. So-called white man got to be revealed in the last days. Great awakening in Babylon the Great. You know what I mean? But now we're in those times. So now we're Isaiah 62. We're not giving the Lord no rest until he made Jerusalem a praise in the earth.
Yep. Yeah, like a kid, man. You promise a kid something, he gonna remind you.
Yeah.
He gonna bug you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I use the the idea of course how wicked Christmas is, but I use that idea. They'd be like, man, it sure is getting cold out here. Ain't it around Christmas time? Ain't it around, or they'll be, they'll have they things. Oh man, I really want this around this time. You know what I'm saying? Like I just can't wait to get these new Legos, man. My old ones is kind of they kind of dirty though, you know. Like they gonna keep, you know, subtly pushing that. You know?
I got honor roll. You said.
Yeah,
You said
right.
I get honor roll. Damn, you take that report card on the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Make sure your parents don't forget you got honor roll.
Yeah, they doing their homework all on the front counter. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, my grade's so good. You know.
Yeah, he announced it every time before he do his chores. I'm about to go cut the grass.
Yeah.
When he get done, I just cut the grass.
How the grass look?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because you looking forward to that reward, man.
Right. Yep.
You know, so that's how the hopeful elect is, man. Like, I mean, yeah, we don't deserve this, man. We don't deserve to be in His truth. We don't deserve salvation. We don't deserve none of these promises, man. But the thing is, the Lord gave it to us. So what does He expect us to do? He expects us to have an expectation and a hope.
Yeah.
Scripture says, according to your faith be it unto you. So if you have faith in all these promises and hopes, man, hey, the Lord, and He loves that, man. You know, and the promises is only given to the Israelites. Romans 9:4.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, there's a certain expectation that Victor trains with before, you know, he takes on that game, man. Before he takes on the adversary. You see, there's an expectation we have with this.
Oh yeah, Habakkuk.
We'll read that.
Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for the appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
Yeah, see, these things is not tarrying. The Lord is shortening up the days. All right, the Lord is putting brothers on a higher level, faster. You see, the Lord is speeding up things, man. We're seeing prophecy prophecy move faster and faster, man. These things is not tarrying, man. The Lord is about to make His move on Babylon the Great, aka America, to judge it, man. And we see it happening right now through the system that they're setting up, which is going to be a short breath of what Yahushua is going to establish and take down, you see? Yep. But, that was pretty much it. Lord willing, we was able to edify. We want to go ahead and give all praise, honor, and infinite glory unto our Heavenly Father.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh.
All right, double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone who taught us the truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Shalom.